Hey there, have you thought about why people suffer? I had someone call me last week and the person was asking if you say devil is not always the one responsible for suffering, who then is? I want to tell you today that there are three reasons why people suffer. Suffering is caused by gap. What is gap? Gap is GAPPPP. The G stands for greed, A for agenda, P for power, another P for profit, another P for possessions, and another P for positions. Take for instance, last 2 weeks or a week thereabout, some students were kidnapped from school in one of the western states. They were taken into hostage and they have been dealt with, they have been beaten to stupor. Now let's ask, did they commit a sin by going to school? No, of course. The people that kidnapped them, were they sent by the devil to go and kidnap those kids? Of course, the answer is no. So if you want to discredit the current tenorship or leadership, so people come together to say, okay, because of our agenda, let's discredit these people. Then let's keep kidnapping, so that insecurity can become one of the things that agendas that can be used to discredit. So now people come together, they kidnap. That's for agenda. Why? Power. Power has always been the reason why people commit. There's so much wickedness and people commit evil. When people are obsessed with power, they commit evil. And when evil happens, suffering is automatic. When they are obsessed with profit, I'll give you an instance. A businessman can build a house with 500 million. Instead of him using 500 million to build units for people to live in, the person will rather keep 400 million to himself and use it to flanger. Then he will use 100 million to build a house. Let's assume that he has built units for people to move in. People will buy the house, they will move in. And guess what will happen? In 5 years, 6 years, the house will come down. Everybody will die. The children that are in school, their parents, they will lose their parents to the construction that should have lasted. Well, because somebody is obsessed with profit. Somebody can have product to sell that they can sell 10 naira, for instance. Then they decide that they're going to sell it for 100 naira. Why? Obsession with profit. I want to make profit at all costs, at the expense of the people. So, if you look at it, the reason you ask yourself a question, why is it that Nigerians are always suffering? Are you saying that the devil is just focused on Nigeria and he just wants Nigerians to be suffering? So, what did Nigeria do to the devil for over many years? What business do Nigerians have with the devil? Are they a stepbrother to the devil? Okay, go to China and some other countries. How come China is working? Are you saying that China, they originate from God and Nigerians originate from the devil? That's why they're suffering. But if you look at it critically, you'll discover that that's not the case. The case is that people are extremely wicked. Wickedness originates from ignorance. When you don't, if you know better, you do better. So if you don't know enough, right, you are going to be wicked. For instance, I'll give you an instance. Some families, they will see someone who is going to, family or friends, they will see someone who is destined to be great. Instead of them coming together and support the person, let the person be great so that the greatness can spread around everybody. They will gather and decide that that person must not be great. And if the person try to rise, they'll put the person down and all of them fall back to square one. So you see everybody in the family, there's no ladder for anybody to climb. Everybody is down at the ground floor. The floor of poverty, the floor of lack, the floor of nothingness. Then you ask yourself, if they know better, how come they're unable to support one of them to become great so that the greatness can spread around, so that abundance can spread around? But what happened? It's not because the devil instigated them against the person. It's sheer wickedness emanating from ignorance. And how does the wickedness work? It comes from what we have mentioned: gap, greed. If someone in the family says that, oh, I'm the only one that deserves to have the best, nobody else should have. My uncle's children should not have the best. My child that is not my favorite child should not have the best. The person who I think is the best person that I can control should be the one to have the best. Then that's great. Then the person is going to scatter everything. Suffering will happen. When there's an agenda, I'll give an instance for police, for instance. A policeman has an agenda, right? So when he meets you on the road, even if your documents are complete, he will tell you that your documents are not complete. It's not because the devil sent him there to put you in prison, but the policeman will arrest you against all provision of all the documents, and he will take you to the cell and he will lay allegations against you. What happened is an agenda. So if you look at it, Nigerians are suffering because there's sheer wickedness that emanates from ignorance. Because we are saying that in the Logic Republic conversation, we are saying that the people suffer not because of the devil. Suffering is not caused by God. Is not anchored. Is not powered by the devil. It is powered on three keywords. Gap. We have already seen what gap is. Gap is greed, agenda, possessions, power, profits, positions. This is what drives suffering. Then, secondly, wickedness. Why are people wicked? They are wicked because they are obsessed with power. They are obsessed with an agenda. They are obsessed with greed. They can't control their greed. They are obsessed with positions. They are obsessed with profit. So everything, if you look at it, you are going to trace it back to gap, right? But then you have ignorance at the core of why people suffer. Both he that is suffering and he that is causing the suffering, they are all suffering from ignorance at a deeper level, if you look at it. So I'm boldly saying that the excuse that the devil is somewhere who has decided that Nigerians will always keep having bad leadership, will keep having kidnappers, will keep having bad businesses, that nothing will work in Nigeria, it's a lie. The devil is not concerned about Nigerians. Nigerians are a peculiar people that are characterized with abundance, but they're also characterized with lack. And their lack comes from, absolute ignorance, sheer wickedness, gap, an obsession with greed, an obsession with agenda, an obsession with power, an obsession with positions, an obsession with profit, endless obsession with possessions. This is why we suffer. And until we understand the fundamentals, what drives our pains, what drives our gains, we will not be able to sit down and put an end to the maladies and madness that characterize our society. So it's time for accountability. Saying that the devil is the reason why we suffer, why humanity suffer, is a display of lack of accountability. We must become accountable and accept the fact that it is our obsessions with what does not make sense, what has no value, placing value on what has no value, that creates everything that we are going for. And let's begin to take decisions, bold steps to correct all of them. Thank you. I see you on the next Logical Public conversation.